Toyfinity is bringing us, or has been bringing us, Robo Force action figures. That is a very dormant property of the mid-80s. It was a very short-lived cartoon show, and by short-lived, I mean it had one episode run, and that was it. It did not catch on. They got beat up by Transformers and GoBots, but Toyfinity has been breathing life into this property, and I'll tell you what, they've been breathing life into this property since 2013. They've been running new vintage-inspired line of Robo Force figures. They've been putting out a couple figures a year, and they are putting out some of the last ones of the original series. It looks like there's two, one called Vulgar the Destroyer and one called Blazer the Igniter. Don't even try to ask me what Robo Force is about. I barely remember it. It was all robot figures. Like, you see the robot figures there, you guys can look it up, Robo Force, and they all look the same. Like, they all just look like R2-D2 with arms. And that was probably part of the reason why it failed, because they all look ridiculous. And the gimmick for each of these robots was the suction cup for legs, so you could like stick them onto like sides of walls and stuff. And they all, I believe, had the same kind of action feature, which is like this power grip arm action. So it looks like using some sort of like air pressure technology, you press something on their back and then their arms fold in, looking like they're trying to like hug somebody. It wasn't that interesting, apparently, and that's part of the reason why they fell by the wayside. Now, this new line, well, semi-new line of figures from Toyfinity, these figures are all part of the Glyos system. It's like a pegging system across different action figure lines where you can like interchange parts, take things off, put them on different robots, and like make your own creations kind of deal. These have the same pegging systems. They all come with like multiple heads and arms, so you can like change around your robots. Honestly, like if that was what the action feature was back in the day, I think this would have had a good chance of like standing next to like Transformers and stuff like that. Like it would at least have probably carried on past like one wave of robots.
What is the market for these, man? How many people buy these?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how much they produce. It's already looking like it's low stock on the site. And I didn't even say they retail at $25 a piece. It's pretty good because, I mean, it's an independent company. So they're making these themselves, and it's like it's fan service, really. It's like people that loved these back in the day, or they're buying them now. As far as like picking them up and then reselling them, some of them are on eBay like at least like $60 or better than that.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, there's people out there that collect them, but there's a lot of people that don't collect them.
That's what, like, I'm trying to think of, like, you explained it to me, right? And like it was an obscure show. It's from the 80s, so from a long time ago. So you got to find a person that knows the show, is into toy collecting. Like, you already know you fit both of those, and then you're still not going to buy them. Like, that's why I'm just like, who are these for? Like, obviously they're like super fans of the show, but that's got to be so small.
Let me explain.
You know?
Let me explain. It's a huge labor of love, I'm sure. That's where it comes from. It's got to be.
It's got to be. It amazes me, man, that this stuff can still be produced. Like, it's crazy to me.
You mentioned that I'm the target market. I'm really not the target market. I wasn't alive when this was out. I didn't know of this show when I was a kid, but I knew of one of these robots. One of my buddy's brothers had one of these robots lying around. It was never like, yo, let's go play Robo Force. It was like this thing was in like one of the toy chests, and it would just be like the robot in situations that we would play with our other toys. You know, you didn't have the internet back then, so I was just like, I was never like, I love Robo Force, like I gotta get more of these. I was just like, this is like the only thing that I know in my universe as a kid. Like, this is the only thing I know of Robo Force. I mean, fond memories